Hey, what's up, everybody? Chasta and Huey here for 1077 The Bone, and I am thrilled to introduce to our YouTube video watching audience and audio for audio listeners, finally getting Megg on the line. We have been talking about Megg. We've been playing Megg on Bone Breakers, but here she is live and in stereo.
Hi.
Hello. Well, baby Huey, meet Megg. Megg, baby Huey. I'm so
Hi,
excited
Megg.
to connect you guys finally because you both love pop punk. And I was like, you guys can geek out a little bit on that kind of fun stuff because you're our pop punk princess here at the Bone.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Well, it's interesting because like I'm watching you guys talk before we hit the record button, and I'm like deja vu again because I was watching your first interview. Both you guys chatted with each other about 4 months ago on Soundwaves TV. So it's like I'm getting like deja vu, but I feel like I already know. Like I feel like at the third wheel right now, interrupting this conversation, this friendship right now. Not to be odd person out.
I fell fast for Megg. I'll go ahead and say it. In fact, I should just go ahead and show off that I am wearing my Megg merch right there. Sick shirt, one of two shirts I have actually. I do have a quick question. Is it weird to wear? You're not supposed to wear merch when you go see the band. Is it weird to wear the merch when you interview the artist?
Listen, I say wear it whenever the fuck you want. I wear my own merch all the time, and I'm sure that's weird, but I don't give a fuck. I love my merch, so I say wear it to the show, wear it when you interview me, wear it when you're sleeping, wear it to the club, wherever you want.
And that's the thing. When I was younger, like in my teenage and like 20s, like I was like pretty hardcore on that. It's like, no, you don't wear the band shirt to the show. And I think it's all because of what Jeremy Piven in that old movie was, it PCU in the early 90s. Yeah. That was like a quote in the movie. But no, as I gotten older, I've loosened up on that idea, and mostly because of pro wrestling. Like if you're a fan of a wrestler, you wear their shirt to the show. So I'm like, why am I being a hypocrite to myself in that sense? So I've lightened up on that. So Megg, yes, I will get a Megg shirt and wear it to your show. Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
That'll be a first for him, by the way. All right, so everyone knows, let's catch him up. So Megg is an artist that we found out of Southern California, although you live part-time in Nashville. You're kind of all over the place. And we have caught you in the year of the Megg. Like, this is your year, darling. What the actual F? Your rocket just went into the stratosphere. Like, everything's happening at once. You just played Warped Tour. You're signing all of these things. You're releasing an EP this month. Like, holy shit. You must be exhausted in the best way possible.
Yes, exhausted in the best way possible. Yeah.
It's been a big year. Let's start with Warped Tour. Like that was such a moment in time for you to be able to get on that tour, and then watching you play it was just so damn cool.
Yeah, man. That was a trip. That was literally the time of my life. I feel like there was so much prep that went into preparing for the show, and then you play the show, and there were so many lessons to be learned. So I don't know if you're like me, but whenever I play a show or do an interview, like literally anything, I'm always thinking back, how can I improve the next time? What can I do better? Kind of just gauging what good that went down and then what I can improve upon next time. So that's been really fun, just to mentally take stock of the things for the next festival I play. And now it kind of has tailored my show prep in terms of like exercise, cardio, that part of the prep. Because an outdoor festival stage is just a different beast. No matter how much you prepare for it, you only can prepare by doing it. So it was cool. I learned a lot of lessons. I was really blown away by the crowd that was there. It was a little overwhelming. I think there's like actually a clip on my Instagram where someone caught me seeing the crowd, and like I think I like lipped, oh my God. What is going on? It was really cool, very emotional, very exciting. You know, I had all my friends and family there.
I was going to say, so if you go to your website, meggmusic.com, that has all your social, your links, EP info, everything. But on your YouTube channel, I really enjoyed like the little mini vlog of your whole experience of the day of Warped Tour, like from 8 hours early in the day to setting up, and your family and friends all helping out, setting up the merch and the tent, everything. And then I also, while on your YouTube channel, I saw, so you guys covered Offspring, Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Oh yeah.
What made you want to choose that Offspring song?
You know, I go through like spurts where I'll rediscover music I was obsessed with growing up. And I haven't revisited The Offspring in so long. And I don't know if I was like listening to the radio or I don't know, but I heard Want You Bad again. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about The Offspring. And so I just like go down.
I love that song. That's one of my favorite Offspring songs.
I agree. I totally agree. And I wanted something like cheeky and fun that I've never seen covered before.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh yeah, this song fucks. And then we played it like we just like practiced it. And that intro after it goes so hard. I was like, what are we doing? We're playing this at Warped Tour. So that just kind of happened.
You're right. Like Offspring's like on this obviously back in the public eye. They've been touring. I saw them a couple weeks ago up here in Northern California. And you're right. It's like there's still so much fun. And then even when they were in LA, they had the original Pretty Fly for White guy, the actor, come out and perform. So it's like, dude, like what a brilliant move to find that guy. I mean, God, it was just like, you forget that song came out, 97, I want to say 98. Ew, so 27 years later, the guy still looks the same. So kudos to him on finding the magic potion to stay young looking. But no, it's cool. Like, yeah, Offspring is just one of those core artists, especially the Warped Tour world, that were a big part of it. So it's cool that you guys did that cover.
It was also like crazy timing because right when I put it up on YouTube, like a couple days later, I feel like The Offspring was everywhere on social media. And then it was like the original Pretty Fly. And I was like, the timing of that is wild. I couldn't have foreseen that coming, but yeah, amazing. That's
just the universe working in your favor for sure. That's a big deal.
Girl.
Yeah. So, I was watching you, like we love Warped Tour and, wanted to go down to SoCal to go there, but I was watching you unfortunately on Instagram and I was like, holy shit, this is so mega. And then I saw you afterwards mention that you were pissed that you didn't have a big banner, like you should have invested in a big banner. So here's the deal. I am going to say on record, I will pitch in for that banner. Like I will throw in some money. Like if we can get a handful of people to throw in, I know they're expensive, but like, yes, I do think you need to invest because when you have a crowd of that size, if they don't know you immediately, they need to be able to glance and go, oh yeah, and like look you up or whatever, or QR code, or whatever the hell.
100%. And it was one of those things that was like, I had already maxed my credit cards on everything else, like merch, design, this, that, like, whoa. And so I was like, it was the last minute. I'm filling out all these forms. I'm having these like mental breakdowns because I don't have any like team. I don't understand these forms.
It's all you, right?
Yes. I'm like, what does this mean? What form? What does it mean? A production writer? What is that? And it was like banner. And I was like, no, don't have the money. Don't have the capacity. It's fine. I have a drum sticker. We left the drum sticker in the dressing room. So there was of my name anywhere on stage except for on the sunglasses that my guitar player wore. So I was like, ooh, that was learning lesson number one. Yeah.
Well, I feel like, if everything goes completely smooth, like for most people, there's something that goes wrong. I feel like that's more the norm. Like, something wrong, wrong happens during the day. I mean, you live and learn. I mean, that's the big thing. It's just like,
oh my God,
it's fine.
Dude, the second, oh my God, there's so many. So we're setting up the merch booth again. This is my first, like, this shit didn't even clock with me going into it. And everyone has these like printed merch tents. And then I have my brother let me borrow our family Easy Up. And because they're like, and he's like, don't like you can borrow it, but like it needs to come back in the condition. And I'm like, okay. And I bring it, and everybody has like their name on their merch, and it's just my white thing. Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And my boyfriend's a tattooer, so he does design work. And I was like, he had a spray painting phase, a graffiti phase. So I called my brother, and I was like, what can I babysit your girls for a month? Like, can I watch your what can I do? And it was just silence on the other end of the phone for like 90 seconds. And he goes, just fucking do it. And I was like,
okay.
Are you sure? And he was like, I'm going to hang up before I change my mind. And I was like, thank you. So I was able to and then went
That's so epic.
And stuff. But yeah, that was another lesson learned too.
Well, what does Warped Tour mean for you? Because for me, like Warped Tour used to come here every single year from the time I remember, like middle school, high school, college years. And then even Chas, I haven't told you this. Like the other day I was cleaning out stuff and I found my ticket from the last Warped Tour 2019.
Oh,
And
wow.
before they
We
went
were
away on their
there, yeah.
hiatus.
Yeah.
So Warped Tour means so much to me as far as like discovering bands, going to see bands that I love that I didn't have a chance to see before, reasonable price on tickets, being around people your own age, have similar interests. Like it's like you're in a village, like my people, we're all here together enjoying this. So I know you're younger than me. So I'm curious from your perspective, what does Warped Tour mean for you?
I think a pretty similar emotional connection as you. I grew up doing musical theater, and I kind of always felt like I had this split life. Like I loved bubblegum pop, Britney Spears, Spice Girls. I also like Dixie Chicks and Shania. Like I loved all that shit. But I have 4 brothers who introduced me to like hardcore and metal and punk and ska and all of that. And so I loved all of these other bands, like grew up with Rancid, Descendants, Sublime, The Offspring, Static X, like whatever. And
Green Day. Green Day.
Oh yeah, Green Day, Blink-182. Come on, like those, like, absolutely. But I always kind of had this double life, and so then I went to college and decided I was going to study pop music. And in high school, Warped Tour was where I could go to feed that part of my soul. You know what I'm saying? And see these bands that were doing what I wanted to do. I didn't have the tools to do that because I was so deep in the musical theater world that also brought me so much joy, but I didn't know anyone that wanted to be in a band or that wanted to play guitar or wanted to play drums or wanted to write that kind of music until I met my band in college. So it kind of like that. It started out as my escape to be around these people that I didn't have access to. And then in college, I met like-minded musicians. We started a band, obviously, but then we would go to Warped Tour together. And so we would get a lot of inspiration, a lot of, I learned a lot about performing there. I got my first fat lip in the pit at Taking Back Sunday. I got to see Every Time I Die, like right on when they filmed the crowd as part of their music video or whatever. Me and my friend are like right in the front. It was just like a place where I got to really lean into my tomboy pop punk, SoCal West Coast roots, like this thing that felt so far away that I didn't have access to until I ended up meeting my band in college. And then we got to do that together and dreamed of playing that together one day, only 15 years later to get to do it. So it was really, really full circle. Warped Tour raised me, as I'm sure you and you. It was the scene for the weirdos and the misfits who couldn't really, because this wasn't cool. Like I was talking about this in another podcast. Like Warped Tour is cool now, but back then, the style of music, like we were the weirdos. We were the kids who were listening to music that nobody understood. You know what I mean? We talked different. We looked different, and Warped Tour was just like the home where it was like weirdos unite. And so to come back and play it, it's like what crazy.
It's very real to find that camaraderie in that community. Like I've talked to, we've interviewed Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm many times, and we've talked about that before. Like her and I, we've related on that because we weren't into like I didn't care about NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys, but I loved Black Sabbath. But like I was the only girl that I knew like that, and so like finding your people. It was so important, and to have that to relate to. I grew up in Southern Oklahoma. We didn't have Warped Tour. We had to go to Little Rock, Arkansas. I got in my car and drove all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas to go to Warped Tour way back when. So yeah, just having access to that stuff is so cool now. I have to say, Meg, one of the things that I love most about you is just your DIY spirit, and like you are doing it all. I know that's not the goal forevermore. I'm sure to do it all by yourself, but I just freaking love that you're like, you know what? We're going to do the videos. We're going to do all of it, the merch, everything. It's like, it's you. Talk to us about the music videos. Like, where do you get your inspiration from? How do you decide? Because they're really, really great. They're well done.
Thank you. I really feel that I'm equal parts audio artist and visual artist.
Mhm.
I really see things as I'm hearing them in real time. When I'm writing a song, I usually see the vision for the music video. When I'm watching a film or I'm going to see someone live or real life experience, I'm constantly coming up with stories in my brain. When I was a kid, I wanted to write a TV show. I'm constantly like thinking of these visuals in my brain. Because like you said, thank God my brain is like that, because I actually enjoy designing EP artwork. I enjoy designing, how the show's going to go, thinking up the concept for the music video, dressing myself, branding myself. So yeah, I think the concepts for the videos come when I'm writing the song. And then what I'll do is I'll team up with a videographer, cinematographer. And then I like to be collaborative. So I'll tell them my vision and then be like, hey, if you have any inspiration or juice you want to pop into the pot, let's do it. I'm not very precious with my ideas either. I really enjoy collaborative environments where everybody can feel like they have a piece of the pie. Just makes it more fun that way. And I'm really grateful, like shout out to all of my friends that help me do this on a daily basis. I really, really couldn't do it without my friends that film my reels for free, take my pictures with me, or just on this DIY roller coaster of like, can I buy you pizza and a beer and like day,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by creatives that just like making shit with me. Truly.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because, for anyone that like looks up Megg online on whatever streaming service they use, like Spotify, Apple Music, I like how, there's a lot of your music to go through and listen through. And it's interesting how you do like a lot of singles and EPs, which I appreciate EPs. Like, I don't feel like enough bands do EPs anymore. I feel like it's kind of like a lost art because like just we were talking a little off the air. I was watching Hardlore, great podcast on YouTube, and they did a 4-hour interview with Davey Havoc from AFI. Who I know I watched all of it. It was 2 parts. I love AFI. I love Davey Havoc, and they've released EPs in the past, and he really says I miss EPs. Like, and they were praising him. It's like a lost art because I think a lot of people just either do a single or like a full album. But like EPs, I love. It was like something as a fan you could hold on to while you're waiting for the full album to come out the following year or something like that. So for you, I'm just curious, like, is that by design? You're like, let's do singles or EPs as we go, and it kind of keeps keep feeding your fan base that way. Like, what's kind of like the strategy there?
To be honest, I think it goes back to your previous question about the DIY trajectory. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing. I wish there was some elaborate scheme or marketing strategy to what I'm doing, but there's not. Last year I was sitting on all this music and I was like, is this an album? It's not an EP. And I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'm just going to put each song out 6 weeks after another. And then I kept writing with different writers this time. And I was like, this feels so landed and grounded in who I am now. I feel like last year was like an experiment sonically of like where Megg is going. Where am I going sonically? But I really got to kind of work out some kinks and see now when I listen back and perform live, I definitely gravitate to some more than others.
Okay.
So this collection, Low Life Club, that I'm releasing in October is kind of, it feels like its own thing. I think too, to answer your question, I haven't released an album yet ever in my career. And I've been doing this for a long time. So now I almost feel like I keep putting out EPs or singles. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because there's all of this pressure in my brain for when the debut album does come.
Okay.
Yeah. It's perfect or whatever that means.
Yeah.
So like until then, until I have financial backing or until there's a label or a management or a team or whatever, I'm just like, well, what can I do now? And I can do singles and I can do an EP.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. But I do enjoy EPs too. Like one of my favorite bands, Fiddlar, is big on dropping EPs constantly. Yeah. And I think I relate to that because I'm constantly evolving in terms of my taste and what I like to write about and what I like to listen to. It evolves so quickly that it's nice to just chew and spit out an EP when I'm in this crazy mood, or chew and spit out an EP when I feel like singing, or when I feel like screaming, or whatever. It's like I can kind of get out whatever that itch is, let it go, and then move on to whatever itch is on its way.
I think it serves two purposes too. Like, number one, it doesn't keep you inside of like a box. We've talked a lot about like the pop punk side of you, but I know you're multifaceted, multi-layered. And I think as an artist, like singles and EPs sort of allow that space to let you kind of breathe and do what you want. But also, we were just talking to Sam from Chevelle, and he was like, they focus a lot on attention span. And they're like really honest. They go, okay, look, like 13 song albums used to be the thing, and we love that thing, but like, does our audience have that attention span anymore? Probably not. So we're going to do 8 on this album and then maybe pull back to EPs. Like, it's just trying to figure out. I kind of feel like the music industry is like the Wild West. Like, none of us really know what works. We're all just kind of throwing shit into the wind to see what sticks, you know?
100%. And it's like, I'm doing this myself. So if I want to do something, I'm just going to go fucking do it. And because I don't have the label or this or that, there aren't really any rules. So it's like, I don't have to listen to anyone's advice or listen to anyone's on this and that. I can just kind of, like, that's the beauty about being in this DIY bucket, is like, there aren't really any rules. So it's like, all right, I'm going to put this EP out. Cool. All right, I'm going to do a single. Cool. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, might as well do it while you can.
I mean, I just think, you know, like kind of like, you know, for a lot of bands financially, you know, maybe they can afford just do 1 or 2, 3 songs here and there, save up and do another recording session with someone and just save up for. And what's also kind of cool, like, you know, just scrolling up and down your library on Spotify, for example, each like single or EP has like individual cool artwork. So it's almost like, you know, you kind of see like, you know, through the art of it all, like, you know, who you are, your personality. So it's kind of cool. Just like you can like 1 or 2 songs here and you can have like a specific artwork for that piece there and be creative and just kind of like paint a picture of who you are over the last couple of years as an artist.
Mm-hmm. Dude, thank you for saying that. I really enjoy that part of what I get to do. I really enjoy that part of music. The visual aspect of it, I feel like, is just as important as the audio aspect.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool to hear you say that, because I definitely feel I'm very proud of my brand, and I feel very, my brand is just me, really. There's not like an alter ego or a stage this. It's just like a roided out version of who I am as a person.
Yeah. Literally, your merch is like some of your tattoos, right? Are on your merch. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more you than that. Like that. I love that you put all of you out into the world like that, and you lean into that. It's so cool. It's different. It's refreshing.
Thank you.
I think it comes across as like, there's no pretension. I'm not I'm not making myself a brand. I'm just Meg. I'm just me. Like, take me or not.
And I think for so long, I tried to be digestible for everybody. I wanted to be something that everybody would like. And as soon as I kind of just decided that A, doesn't work for me and also is impossible, and just kind of lean into who I am and what I am. And if you like it, great. If you don't, that's all right. You know, there's so much music to choose from. It doesn't have to be mine. But if you're here, it will be real, it will be authentic, and it will be me.
And that's my work.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. It seems like you, over the years, find your voice and who you are, and you're like kind of reaching like this final boss form right now of like, you know, what your sound is, what people can expect when they go to see you at a live show or listen to your music. But I'm just kind of curious though. Chasta and I were talking earlier before you jumped on. I feel like as a pop punk fan, like I grew up as a 90s kid and like the whole pop punk revival of the late 90s, early 2000s. As someone in my high school and college years, it was amazing to live through in that moment and, you know, see bands like Green Day, Blink-182 that broke it to that next level, even Offspring. But like right now, I feel like, just from my perspective, there's like a pop punk revival going on right now. So I'm curious, from your perspective, do you agree? Because I feel like 10 years ago, there was a lot of great pop punk bands coming out of the woodwork, as far as like bands like State Champs, Neck Deep. Like there was a lot of cool bands coming out. and then they kind of, went down a little bit. Even like A Day to Remember 10 years ago was really blowing up. But now I feel like those bands are coming back around again. And then like the OG bands from like 10, 15 years before them, Blink, Green Day, Good Charlotte, All American Rejects, like we're going to Aftershock this weekend in Sacramento, big festival. There's a lot of pop punk bands there of both age range, if you want to call it. Eras. So like do you like your perspective, like Warped Tour is killing it right now back as a brand. Yeah. Do you think there's like a pop punk revival going on as we speak?
Oh, 100%. I think it's been going on. I feel like Warped Tour, Kevin could not have picked a better time to bring this festival back because people have been reaching for this kind of music, and now everybody's doing it and doing their own spin on it, which is cool. Especially for us, because like we've been out here making this kind of music for years, so it works out for me. And also, I think it's been fun to hear everyone's new take on pop punk and all not the old dudes, like the
OGs
we grew up with, like what they're now putting out too. And I think like Good Charlotte, for example, I didn't have a lot of hope for their new record because I was like, okay, you guys haven't made music in a while. The Young and the Hopeless is one of the greatest albums from top to bottom. It is a perfect record. And so when they put out the, what is it, Hotel Day Cap or something, Do Cap or whatever, I was like, oh, here we go. But I love it. There's like this like country song on there. There's this like pop song on there. There's this like heavier song. And then there's the classic Good Charlotte. And it's really fun to hear everyone spin on pop punk. Like you can hear the people that are making pop punk that didn't grow up listening to it versus the ones that did grow up listening to it and making it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm here for it, man. I love it. I love the revival.
That's so
really
cool.
Yeah.
Well, here I am talking about the year of the Megg. So we're in the 90-day stretch. We've got like, around 90 days left of the year. You're releasing this EP. So we have a whole plan here with the Bone and Megg. Okay. So you're releasing your EP October 24th, which will like launch you right through the fall into the winter, and boom, you're ahead of everyone in 2026. Very good plan, might I add. But we're going to break a song on the Bone. It's called Clarity, and we're going to break that on Bone Breakers on October 11th. It comes out on the 10th, right?
Yes, and actually, this is a surprise single. I have not posted about the drop. I haven't posted that I'm even releasing anything before this EP. I just was like, again, kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just doing things. I'm like, let's just drop one more single.
So we have the exclusive then?
So we have it. I just got the chills.
Literal exclusive. Nobody even knows it's coming out. And that's like, that's why when I hit you up, Chasta, I was like, the publisher has this idea. Like, I first thought of you right away. Because again, the girl crush started immediately for me too.
Immediately. Yep.
I'm really excited to be premiering it with you guys.
That's awesome. So freaking rad. That's one of Huey and I's favorite things to do, like find an artist or a band when they're young. I'll give you an example. We found Dirty Honey when they were playing Aftershock. Now, obviously, they got on an Aftershock stage, so they were like making their way, but they had never done an interview. We did the first interview with that band ever. And we didn't even know that actually at the time, right, Huey? We didn't know that till like 2 or 3 years later.
Because then when Dirty Honey came back, played the Regency Ballroom, we talked to Mark the week before, do an interview, and he said, yeah, you guys were our first interview as a band prior to that Aftershock. Like, what? Really? That's awesome. Thank you. But you and I, like out here, we find bands like Straight Jacket, who we love. I mean, just
Destroy Boys. We had them on
Boys
years ago.
Yeah.
Destroy Boys.
Yeah, they're great. So it's one of our favorite things to like capture somebody as they're on their way up, because we love being able to be part of that push, that launch, So thank you for thinking of us, and we will do everything. I mean, obviously, this interview will be playing you on Bone Breakers. We've already played IDC on Bone Breakers, and we'll continue to do so. But and hit the socials and all that, and of course the merch. You know what? Hold on. The back is so badass. Let's see if I can do this. This is gonna be hard. You guys
don't hit your microphone.
I know. I won't touch my microphone. Can
you see it? Yes.
I love it. It's so good. So meggmusic.com. Now I just DM'd you to get mine. I haven't checked this like in the past week or so. Is the merch up on the website?
Okay, so again, talking about DIY, myself how to do that. I don't know. There are clothes up there. I don't think I was able to upload all of them because that took so long. I was like ripping hair out. I was like, whatever's up is up. But yes, you can DM me for merch. I'm pretty sure it's on my website. I did check the payment and all of that, so it is secure. It does work, but I just don't think all of the pieces are online.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm reachable, dude. Like anyone can DM me and we can chat and we can do it that way too.
Yeah, that works very easily. I sent her my money on Venmo, I think it was.
Yes.
It works. Technology is in our favor these days. I love it.
It is.
That's all. And then anything else coming up for you as far as like show wise or have you had a chance to play in the Bay Area at all in the past?
We're working on it.
Yes, we're working on it because I have so many friends out in the Bay. I would love to play the San Francisco area. But until then, coming up, I'm playing the East Room in Nashville this Saturday, October 4th.
That's a big deal. That's amazing.
I'm stoked.
Actually, that reminds me of a question I want to ask you real quick. So you're from Southern California, from LA. I know you're kind of going back and forth between Los Angeles and Nashville. Nashville, music city. Like how many people, Chasta, we know that lives out there now? It's not just country, but like
a lot of rock artists.
I mean, Hailstorm, I think, lives out there. Like for example. So I mean, from your perspective, what's it like? Because I feel like growing up, LA was the place to be, to go be a musician, an artist, to get successful. But now I feel like Nashville is like the new home for that. So what's it like being a musician in both cities in different states?
Dude, it's a trip. Like, again, it's that like double life thing. LA is California is the greatest place on earth. I'm going to say it.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
I feel that way too.
Yeah.
I really am. So that's its own thing. If we're talking specifically music, I got really lucky that I found my like soulmate musician band members in LA.
Okay.
So I would say the scene is different in the sense of LA feels, now that I'm in Nashville, that was the biggest thing is Nashville, the community is so welcoming and so proactive about helping you. Like,
that's good to hear. That's great.
Dude, it's crazy. Like my first session, I was with people I had never met and they were like, oh, you just moved here? I was like, yeah, like yesterday. And they're like, oh, let me put you in with this producer, this writer, this, that. Like they want to help other people succeed because they get that we can all go up together. LA is not that way. It's very gatekeepy. It's very tight-knit circle. Like I can't imagine moving to LA, not being from there and trying to do music. What do you do? Nobody wants to help you in Hollywood. Nobody wants to like take in a newcomer. Because it's so oversaturated. You're trying to fight for your own moment. Whereas in Nashville, it's a perfect time for any genre other than country. Because country, of course, come out to Nashville to do country. But because I came out as a girl doing rock, doing punk, doing pop punk, that is such a smaller community. So everybody's like, oh my God, I found another person. Like, oh, I've been dying to play this music. So I found a band out here like that because there were really only a handful of musicians that played this style.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's been the biggest difference is for rock and punk and pop punk. It's so not oversaturated. So it's really fresh and on the rise. So there's like opportunity chances to play live and to get paid to play live. And people want to come see that kind of music and people want to write that kind of music. And also everyone out here is just like about the music. It's not about the way you look, about your body type, the plastic surgery, the trust fund, the money, who you know. Out here, it is about the music, period. The rest is secondary. Versus LA, it can kind of be more about the visual.
The brand.
The brand, the money, the this, who you know, and then the music is secondary. But I would say that's the biggest difference. I love both cities and I love playing music in both cities. So I don't think one is better than the other, but that's been the biggest difference.
Okay.
Yeah. You get the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Even though it's exhausting to go back and forth between.
I know, I go back again next week.
Did we freeze? Or did I freeze?
You froze. You froze. We're fine.
That's funny because I didn't freeze, but you guys froze. I want to get her at the Guild. I feel like she would be.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the Guild Theater would be such a cool, like put together like a whole night of rock would be really fun. So we're going to work on that. That's a 2026 goal.
That would be awesome. The Guild's beautiful. I mean, you and I were rocking out Everclear, Local H and Sponge a couple weeks ago, so it was cool.
Oh my God.
I know, yeah.
It's a great room.
We're lucky. The Bay Area has a lot of great venues, and so it's awesome. So yeah, you need to come up here ASAP and perform for us in person. And I can buy a shirt off you in person as well.
Exactly. Exactly. That way you don't have to mess with the website. I love it. Yes. All right, Meg. Well, we always wrap our interviews with our favorite question, which is the film from, or a question from the film Almost Famous, which is 25 years now. Oh, geez, Louise. I don't know how that happened. But the question is, what do you love about music?
I love how non-judgmental it is. You can listen to whatever you want with no judgment. You can write and say whatever you want with no judgment. Music feels like the most welcoming, forgiving, non-judgmental space that exists.
Wow.
I am constantly astounded that Huey and I have asked that question for the better part of a decade, and we rarely get the same answer. And we've never gotten that answer before. Well done. Way to be original, Meg.
Thank you.
Authentic.
There's only one like her. Authentic. That's right. That's what we love about you. By the way, I don't want to creep you out with this because it was really unintended, but it worked out perfectly. So for Soundwaves TV, we are right in the middle of like filming. We're always filming ahead, right? And so we're filming our Halloween stuff. And so I was going through my wig bin for Halloween, and I had a half blonde, half black, and they wanted us to go as rock stars, and I was like, I'm going as Megg. So I'm you on Soundwaves TV's Halloween episode.
Oh my God, you're gonna have to send me a video and a photo of that. I couldn't be more obsessed with you, but here I am, more obsessed with you.
I was dying. I said on the episode, I go, Megg knows I love her, but this might be the moment where our friendship is over. She might be like, whoa, that's creepy. But it worked perfectly. It was meant to be.
You just cemented the lifelong bond. I'm obsessed with that.
And I will always get to say I was the first cosplayer of Megg.
Actually, my publisher showed up to Warped Tour in split wigs.
Oh, damn it. I'm the second.
Yes, you're the second. You're the second. And I was like, who the fuck? And then my eyes like focused in, and it was my publisher.
That is amazing. Oh my God, I love it. That's so cool. Well, we are so stoked to get the word out. I mean, you've got a huge following already, but we want to do anything we can to get that even more, like I said, pushing that rocket into the stratosphere. So Clarity is the brand new surprise single and the EP coming out on the 24th. Megg, we love you. Thank you for doing this. And this is quite a fun collaboration.
Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Mwah.